He has to like keep getting kills to actually be worth it. Damn. Let's go in the game, Truman. Let's go into the game. And
Okay.
have my knee up here.
Shiny faces are gone.
Uh,
We are in the game right now. Smoke shenanigans coming through. But yeah, I do wholeheartedly agree with your analysis. They kind of have to have a good start on the side of Navi, on the side of Pari Parni, or they straight up lose. And even if they have a good start, if they don't push the objective hard enough, this Bristleback might still get out of hand with the IO supporting him the entire time through.
ooh, solo.
There's a monkey chasing him. It's a wild career.
One thing you could say though is that I do like Pari Parni's late game potential if they start snowballing with Pasha's Bounty Hunter. You know, TA, Monkey King, those are great heroes to have. You get them a few track kills and they start rolling with the money. I mean, I don't know if I'd say they're scarier than Puck and Bristleback, but they're certainly at least equally powerful, if that makes sense.
Yeah, TA is just a monster in the late game as well. But if you don't, the problem against the Bristleback is most of the time, especially with an IO guarding him, if you don't kill him off in those first like 5 hits, then he'll just heal up and come back swinging and just completely deck you with the viscous nasal goo.
Let's see what they choose to go with here. For top lane, we're going to be looking at the Dazzle as well as the Monkey King versus the Zeus and the Brewmaster. Not feeling like Navi is going to be overly worried. Once Solo hits level 2, gets the Heavenly Jump, he should be unkillable basically. And Laze is just naturally tanky, can slow people. I feel the most worried for Immersion. I feel like Immersion might be at risk in this lane. Oh, LTW, he's going for it. Oh, he's taking a lot of damage.
Well, he is fairly aggressive already, trying to bully them out. It works so far, but yeah, he does take a lot of damage in return. Just only the tangos and a magic stick to work with. Okay, that was interesting.
That was a lot of punishment that they took. I mean, they did give Laze a piece of their mind as well. Like, hey, they don't like what you did last game. We're going to make sure you suffer. Meanwhile, bottom lane, that's the lane you want to look at. Pasha starting off with the magic wand. You know, typical. You are up against Bristleback with spams. He already has 10 charges on it. So, I mean, I feel like this is really the lane I'm going to be watching most of the game.
LTW Immersion are probably going to be fairly aggressive in their approach. Bottom lane, I don't really see, you know, the supports can die possibly, but the Bristleback and the Bounty should be pretty much A-okay. And mid is, yeah, mid's mid. They have chances to kill each other, but again, you probably need a rotation if you're the TA to get a kill on the puck.
Mid is certainly mid. It is definitely not one of the other lanes. Yeah, we'll see what Pasha can do in this game. So far, Lay's really suffering in terms of CS though. This Immersion ILTW Monkey King Dazzle combo, it's working out really well for them. Every time Laze goes in, slows, gets a full jingle. The ILTW takes a few hits here, but also should be fine.
And he also bought a healing salve on LTW, so in case he drops pretty low. His own healing salve still heals him for quite a considerable amount, so he should be in that regard still just fine. Nebraska did go for the bottle pickup in mid.
Solo tried to jump away from the last hit from ILTW, but still gives him the Jingo stacks, which means that he's able to survive a lot of this harass just because he's got those Jingo Mastery points, giving him, it's an insane amount of extra health per hit.
He popped the healing salve, Solo just breaks it, but also 9 magic stick charges is not too bad for ILTW. Could use that to bait your opponent in later down the line. Bottom lane, V-Tune, his farm is going pretty okay, but the bounty is also not doing too shabby. Pasha is bullying V-Tune out of there, even going to yoink a little bit of that extra cash. Healing salve on the IO should put V-Tune almost to solid HP levels again.
It's almost cute when they try to harass V-Tune. I mean, I know they're just like a lot of time Pasha's just stealing gold, but it's like, oh, that's adorable. But you try to hit him twice, it's just there's no point to it. Oh heaven, he's takes a few hits, but he's also got a magic wand, 16 charges, he's just gonna be fine. A bit of a passive game, but kind of expected, honestly.
Bounty. So, yeah, top lane, the side of Pari Parni still has not been able to drag the lane back to have a solid lane equilibrium whatsoever. LTW does get the kill onto Laze, and that is first blood secured. So, because Solo did dip for a little bit to possibly help out somewhere else, they did lose the Panda.
He went for the bounty
meantime.
rune. He went for the enemy's bounty rune, and that cost them because Laze couldn't just solo that lane at all.
Well, currently, Vito's actually below Pasha in net worth. He's constantly yoinking that money away, which is so very much valued here for the Bristle. Really enjoying all of his money stolen. In comes Pasha. Continuing that harassment on the bounty hunter. This is actually pretty filthy.
Yeah, it's like 40. It's a 40 gold swing every time you do it because they lose 20, you get 20, so it really adds up. The cooldown also really improves. Like we'll see if I imagine he's gonna max it out once he gets level, once he gets level 5. Then it's really annoying. And Vito's actually taking a significant amount of hit. Pasha's gonna lose his life.
Sweden Strong continuing forward. Pasha does have magic wand charges. Is baiting them in pretty deep. But it's going to be the Rubik instead with the rotation from no one. And the Rubik will die. Pasha will stay alive. During all of that, Solo's taking some of the experience in mid. We can catch up slightly. Depressed Kid probably going to start jungling soon enough. So it wouldn't be too surprising if they, in a bit, put, for instance, Immersion towards mid so he can get that solo XP once Depressed Kid leaves the area.
Yeah. And honestly, that's not really a rotation that no one wanted to make. Like you go bottom, you just get killed on Heaven's Rubik. You're like, you want to go for a little bit more. I feel like you really relieve the pressure with Laze. He is just not having a game this game. Although maybe not actually.
LTW, nice rotation from no one. Do they get the kill? He is still alive. Does have the bound the strike in a sec. Should have waited until the creeps were not fortified there. Would have been a lot more healing, but he does stay alive at the very least.
Yep, another no one rotation, not getting him exactly what he wants. He forced the TP, now he's forced to walk back. Solo's just going mid though. He is taking all the XP, gonna reach a fairly quick level 6. He's only level 4 right now though. And Depressed Kid, he's just farming. This is exactly, look at him, he's at 60 CS in 6 minutes.
And no one taking a heap of damage from the side blades as well. This is kind of a situation where mid laner wants to really help out the side lanes because the side lanes are both struggling, or were struggling. Yes. The bottom lane does definitely help that rotation, but top lane Laze is just really having a very rough time of it.
Yeah, and I imagine if you're Navi, you kind of want the guy to be online because if he's not, how are you really gonna start fights? Yeah, you got Puck, you got Zeus, and you got Aya. These guys all are pretty squishy. And you need Lace to start to beefing them up a little bit here. In the meantime, V2, look at that. Double steals by Pasha. And his net worth also, how is it actually? Still number 2 on the net worth. No, he's fine.
Pasha taking a lot of damage. 6 quill spray stacks. That's a little bit too much damage to be taken. He does have level 5, so Janana Gold Steel is pretty good at this stage. But he needs to be very careful for those stacks.
Obviously got on the courier coming for him. Also, he's just gonna go for a hood on the bounty hunter. Bounty hunter does have a pretty obscene amount of early armor, so he's like, alright, might as well just work with that.
Prescott, in the meantime, top net worth by quite a considerable margin. Is going to go for the Deso Rush instead of the Dragonlance, which is an interesting choice. I'm wondering if that is just meant so that he can take Roshan incredibly early.
It would be pretty good for them. And also, we talked about sort of the tower damage that was a problem for them in game 1. Pari Parni might be like, yeah, let's get TA Deso, maybe an early BKB. If we win a fight, we want to take buildings right after, because map control was a huge issue for them. And look at that, it's nice. Is that a triple stack? That is a triple stack, and Ancients as well. So the Depressed Kid just really abusing these sort of unfortunate rotations by no one, only killing Heaven in... Oh, Pasha the false though.
Yeah, no one kind of wants to, yeah, Pasha does get taken down in the bottom lane, but no one wants to go for Depressed Kid, relocate, play in towards mid. They need the Dazzle there. They need actually a lot more than just the Dazzle there. They are going to rotate with the supports. There's a Shallow Grave as well. Depressed Kid does stay alive just barely, but how much longer can he stay living? Depressed Kid getting himself back, and there's again the Fraction charges coming through. Will be just fine and dandy. Good rotation from the supports. There was a relocate used in the process, but Vtoon, is he actually going to try and steal the Ancients? No, that would just be probably suicide.
I mean, that was a relocate, a dream coil, and Pari Parni lost nothing except this. Like that, that's pretty good. Pretty good. I mean, Pari Parni, this game is looking. It's not even this in their favor right now. Pasha is also level 6, although Pasha might be losing his life right now. Is he gonna be okay?
Oh my lord, that damage from the Depressed Kid, and yep, no one did not see it coming from the side. He'll find another kill onto Pasha in the bottom lane. Yeah. Two big fights coming out in two different directions.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's not too bad. I think killing no one's a little bit more important, but at the same time, Pari Parni, we talked about this. Bounty Hunter, we don't want to see him become a creep. You know, we don't want to see him just to be this useless guy. He needs to really be ahead, start pulling his weight.
I'm wondering what LTW is built. He's going for Mage Slayer first item. Okay, I guess they have a lot of magic damage. Does mean that he does no damage either.
Well, it says spell damage, so I believe it also works on bristleback bristles, doesn't it? Because they are spelled.
Yeah, but I don't know, because it technically also is a debuff that you get, so does that still count as spell damage?
Oh, Pasha.
Going pretty deep. Immersion, Shallow Grave, keeps Pasha alive. Vtoon gets a courier snipe in the meantime. They're very deep though. Luckily enough, they are not going to be able to punish it just yet. The Rubik's actually in trouble, and they're right next to a very juicy Ancient stack, which Vtoon is going to try and farm up, and this is pretty painful if they get this stack stolen.
This is unfortunate. And Immersion, he smoked up. I mean, what are you going to really do as a Dazzle? I guess he's soaking up some EXP, which is nice, but you know, that's not what you want. You want it to go to the poor Depressed Kid. No wonder. That's why his name is that. Makes sense.
Definitely Depressed Kid right now. All of his juicy stacks have been stolen away. And with that, Vtoon gets a lot of money. And that was the one thing that they needed to deny. They needed to make sure that Vtoon doesn't get that Ags at a pretty good timing. Well, they can't really stop it at this stage. They just gave him all those easy stacks to farm up.
Yeah, it was a big risk to stack it like that and not take it the moment you could. Immersion is gonna be probably okay, or is he?
Trying to Biggie himself out of there, but Bresket is going to be the one that's chased down with the Brute Lid on top. Shallow Grave not going to be able to get casted in time. Bound the Strike onto a multitude of enemies. The Rubik does steal the coil, but he's going to get stunned up. Does he get it off? Yes, he does. Snap the coil onto V2, chasing for more. Lift up, drag back. Nope, there's too much healing. They're too tanky. He's going to jump in. In goes Pasha. This is all track gold coming through. No one is out of mana as well. He has nothing. They will lose the Dazzle, but no one cannot disengage any further. Pasha with the track, hunting him down. It is no one in a world of hurt. Bound the Strike. He's trying to bait out the dodge, and it's... well, he does dodge it at the very least, but another track gold kill coming in. That's a lot of money for the bounty.
That was an extra 390 for him. 120 per ally who was around. That is actually a huge amount of gold. You can see that's insane. That is insane. They needed that. I was beginning to worry that Navi was just gonna run through them, run them all over the map, take all the tier 1s. They did get the mid lane though. And they got bottom as well. Looks like they might posture top. So Pari Parni, you're still not ahead. You're still in a pretty bad spot considering everything. Although
even I like it.
Lane,
have a fight here.
They're gonna go in for the bristleback kill. He is very tanky, but the relocate saves him. No one is here. Has the Dream Coil, gets it off, and Rubik steals Arc Lightning level 1. That's not really the spell that you want to steal. Go zap away at the 0 damage being taken. Radiant side. Prescott now the next one in trouble, and that should just be both the cores falling. Nothing much more that they can do to keep them alive. Immersion might just be a third one. You should have kind of dipped ages ago, because Save Your Buddy Syndrome is still very alive in this team.
But look, they're all tracked, man. That is very useful to have, and this is the issue why we don't see Bounty Hunter picked more often. Very snowball hero, and currently he's kind of trying to roll a snowball up a cliff. Gonna go for no one, gets a hit off. That's nice.
Oh, he does get silenced, and he is dead. So that's pretty nice. Yes, you are very correct.
That was very nice, sir. That was much nicer than we thought.
At level 4, Waning Rift stolen, so a nice 3.5 second silence against the puck. That ain't too shabby. Of course, it is still looking pretty rough with V-Tune's Ags being only one, solid 650 gold away. For the rest, he's got every other piece, and that is fairly painful because that opens Roshan for Navi as well, considering he can get all those stacks onto Roshan. And yeah, the TA went for the Deso early on. You kind of need that Roche kill.
For sure. Meanwhile, Pasha is going to go for the Aghanims, for it allows, what did you, sorry, you Shuriken Toss, gives you more cast range, and you get the Janada Gold Steal as well as the damage, and ILTW just falls, poor guy. I always feel like the Aghanim Scepter on Bounded is kind of more useful, again, when you're ahead. In this situation, I would prefer to have something like, that helps them tank up a little bit more. How do you feel about that, Mr. Truman?
I actually have to disagree slightly.
How could you?
I'm a monster, I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But yeah, no, I really like the Aghanim Scepter on Bounty. It's not necessarily for just the Janada Gold Steal, but it's the fact that with track on enemies, you also do extra Shuriken Toss damage. And then with Janada on top of that, it just does so freaking much damage. And it's like the only way they can kill off this IO in a team fight.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of value in it for sure. I don't personally like it myself, but I can see why some people would go for it. This is one of the best things about Dota, though, when two people can have a disagreement about an item, and we see the different ways. There's really no right and wrong here, except the fact that I'm right and you're wrong, but still, it's alright.
Don't worry, I'll delete my items and buy Shadow Amulet and stand AFK. So no one silenced up, he does take a heap of damage. The problem is, every single time Pari Parni are fighting, the only one that's never there is the bounty.
Yeah, that's kind of a problem when the guy who's supposed to help you snowball doesn't show up. Let's see. He does track solo, but there's no way he's gonna avoid staying right next to a sentry. He needs to be careful here. ILTW, he is going for a Diffusal Blade. Interesting. Doesn't have the BKB queued up at any point.
Solo's dead. Probably. Likely. He needs to Shuriken Toss. Why is Pasha never there? Dude, stop farming creeps, start farming enemies.
Well, to be fair, he's probably thinking that he needs to get the Aghanims to really join fights. ILTW, is he gonna be okay though? The relocate comes up. Ultimate comes out. ILTW, is he gonna die? Yes, he is.
I'm really not a big fan of Mage Slayer first item on Monkey. It just does way too little. Lays might get taken down, but they tickle him a bit. Gets
Look at the
up,
heal.
and now they're just gonna disengage quickly, or as quickly as they possibly can. And now Pasha is in a world of hurt as well. V2 with the Aghanim Scepter, yeah, that's the problem of giving the enemy your stacks. He gets it at a ridiculous timing, top net width of the game. The Depressed Kid can't fight it. They're just gonna walk into the pit and get that first ages of the game.
Compare the Brewmaster 3-1 and 8 to Pasha 0-3 and 4. This is what, like, Brewmaster less net worth, still more valuable though, just because you can pop your ultimate and still do a lot in every fight. And yeah, this Roche is gonna fall pretty fast.
They will be able to get that first ages, and well, killing off this Bristleback one time is already very, very, very rough for Pari Parni. Killing it off twice is nigh impossible.
No, see, when he's alive for longer, you have more Junada hits, so you steal more gold.
And you
That's
get
why.
your Ags faster. Hey,
Yay.
Otomo knows the game.
But this was the plan all along by Pari Parni. They're like, let's keep the Bristleback alive, so we can just stealing Junada. That's in all seriousness though. Pasha is gonna hit level 12. The track gold I think doubles in that level at least for your allies, which is very nice. And if they can't get a few kills very soon, Navi looks like they're just gonna take the whole game. Depressed Kid, he's building the BKB, but he's quite far. He's only got the Blink and the Deso and 300 gold to his name. Still needs about 3,500 at least to get the BKB. ILTW builds the Diffusal, but I kind of agree with you. I did not like the Mage Slayer level 1 first item. Did not feel the impact of that. Top lane, Depressed Kid's here.
I mean, I wouldn't mind it, but not first item. Because this would be such a good game if you get Orchid. Against Puck, if you rush Orchid on a Monkey, you can later turn it into, of course, the Bloodthorn and whatnot. But at this stage, it just feels, you know, you jump in and, oh yeah, I'll reduce their damage slightly if I hit everyone and they're all inside my Wukong's command. If not, I'm just dead.
Looks like he's considering going for Silver Edge. I'm wondering if he's gonna go for that or he's just trolling. He's going for a BKB. Either way, Immersion. Oh, Heaven's gone. Immersion might be joining very soon. Buyback comes out though.
Pasha trying to continue, gets coiled up. Needs to be careful. He is looking very dead. Wukong's comes in onto Speeder Strong. They get rid of the IO though, who does immediately buy back with the relocate play, and the stolen Dream Coil kept V2 away from that engagement. And Prescott is now the one in a World of Hurt immersion. Can he keep him alive? No, can't Shallow Grave if you're tornadoed up. Good moves coming out from Lays. And it will be immersion and down in the dumps as well. And the only one that bought back for that engagement on the dire side is the last one standing.
Navi is just on a whole other level, man. That Brewmaster pick was brilliant. Worked out for them like very well. The supports are just doing the Zeus is doing the damage, and we see Sweet Strong keeping everyone alive. Bristleback as well, they picked him up fairly early and just uncountered. Look at the damage he's doing. 450 to the tower.
Yeah, it's not too shabby. V2 just chunking away at everything. It's almost like you're seeing a tiny play at the moment with that building damage. 8-0 and 10 hasn't died a single time this game. Does of course have a big juicy support with him for exactly that reason. Pasha is, yeah, high ground defending is actually pretty nice on a bounty hunter if you've got the axe, but it's still 2 pieces away. Well, 1 piece and 100
Pasha?
gold.
They ping him out. They probably know that he's around here. Very bold.
Well, he's getting those bounces of the Shuriken toss in, but needs to be fairly careful. V2 continuing forward. Gets all those viscous nasal goo sprays going off the entire time, and still has an Aegis for 1:30. Immersion's gonna get 3 shot. Dream Coil that was stolen still gonna get thrown out, but they are just gonna zap them all into oblivion. Nice tracks you got there, but it ain't gonna do anything. The 2 cores just need to disengage, and back to the high ground they go.
Lays suffered the whole game and still in the lane stage and just has a huge impact at this stage. No one again with the puck. Game 1 he was phenomenal with it. Game 2 the same thing. And yeah, I like look at the solo. He's like, oh guys, can I go for an Aghanim Scepter on Zeus? First major item. You know, I got the shard, and he's like, yeah, sure, just go get Aghanims. Why not? They are extremely farmed on Navi, the non-bounty hunter team, by the way.
Really? Would not have expected that.
That's a bit shocking. It's a bit shocking.
It's the bristleback's just too big, and the bounty hunter is just too far off of the useful tool. Going in, it is the monkey. I don't really. Okay, LTW. Yeah, they give him the tip. He just jumps into suicide, and the GG gets called.
Yeah, it's a bit of a whimper in game 2, but honestly, Pari Parni, they went for a very, you know, either we win this very early or we're just gonna lose the whole game equally quickly. Basically, they had to snowball hard, and they couldn't. This bottom lane back, the stack stealing was insane. That was a huge factor for him, and I mean they tried to zone out late.